All right, welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we were able to set up the hypertube system, added a little bit of power, and got everything up and running so we could move over to phase 3. We are pretty close to that goal. I have enough material in all of the assemblers to make that happen. The automated wire, I believe, is still getting made. So these are still going just to help me with the next tier. There's not much in there, but there is a little bit. And while we wait for that, I thought that I had made everything that was available to me, but I realized that I'm not making motors. Probably forgot about that because you don't really use motors for anything in phase 2. Phase 3 is when they really start becoming a little bit more important. So we're going to want to set up something to make that happen. So individually, of course, we are making rotors and we are making steel pipes. But we are not making rotors and steel pipes near each other. We're also using most of our steel pipes currently to make the stators. So couple of options. We can go over to where the stators are and make, I don't know why I was talking about steel pipes. I totally just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, but I don't know why I was talking about steel pipes. We can head over to where we're making stators and add a small factory for making rotors. I think that that's the best thing we can do here. And because we can make rotors with iron, all we'll need to do is find an untapped iron source. So we have one over there. Alternatively, I have this this guy here running, I think at like 75%, like almost 50% basically. I think I just have it barely overproducing what I'm using, which is typically how I like to run my things. So I could put this back to 100%. And run the iron back over this way. Have that start making our motors. Alternatively, and it would be a little bit easier to do it this way, I can just set up a truck station that will drive either the rotors or the stators to one or the other, and they can deliver everything over, which does seem a little bit easier in this moment. How much would it cost? How much does it cost? I don't have any reinforced plates, of course. Give me 1 second. So I'm wondering how much of these is going to cost. So gonna go through 10 rotors, 10 stators a minute. We're currently making 15 stators, and rotors we're making, I don't remember off the top of my head how much the rotor factory is making. I know it's 3 assemblers, so if I just pop this open, making 12 a minute. So I think I'm better off adding to it, or adding to this, I should say, rather than trying to take up what little bit of rotors I already have. It just seems like kind of a process. I'm not really sure where to start. I suppose the other thing is I don't think this is producing quite enough iron. I suppose I guess it is. I don't know. I'm a little torn here because I would rather have a separate factory that's making both rotors and stators rather than taking away from our supply here, since that would kind of cause us to fall behind on stators. So eventually I'm going to have to make another stator factory, or I'll have to extend this one. The problem is that the stators require the steel pipes, which means we'd have to find coal and iron somewhere to make another factory for it, which isn't a huge deal, but it's going to be kind of difficult unless we want to go to some of the other areas at this point, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I do need to start making motors, definitely. If I don't start making them now, I'm going to struggle later on. Let's go ahead. We'll build here. I don't think I like that I have to do it this way, but it's what I'm doing. So we will set up a few smelters. Currently, we'll be. I think this produces 240 a minute. At max speed, so we'll have access to 105. So we'll need 3 smelters. Sorry, 4 smelters. Like so. This does 120, so I'll need to take 5 off of each of them. It's a splitter in the center here. As close to the center as I can get it, at least. One there, one there. These up like this. Now, the only issue is that with a single splitter, we're actually going to lose a small amount of our iron going into our foundries, which over time will add up. But these should back up eventually and take me back to where I'm supposed to be, hopefully. I'm not confident in that, but I don't know what else to do, unfortunately. So the foundries might fall behind a little bit at the beginning. But that will just have to be what it is. Okay, so for rotors, we will need screws and steel pipe, steel rods, iron rods. That's what I'm thinking of. So we have 15 to 15. I need to be producing 10 rotors a minute, which means 2.5 assemblers. So 50 iron rods, 250 screws, with 25 a piece here. We can do 25 iron rods out of each smelter, and each set of screws can go 2 to 1 to make 100. Okay, I think I can make this math work. So we're gonna start with a set of splitters here. One here, one there, and constructors on each side. I'm gonna have to grab some more reinforced iron plates. I'm kind of worried that these are gonna be a little too close together. I'd rather the splitter be a little bit off than the constructors from the splitters. Come on. Okay. Feed these in. Yeah, that's gonna mess up these ones, but I'll probably just speed these ones up. So these will go to the iron rods. That will give me 60 a minute. A little bit less, actually, because I'm only doing 50 ingots per minute. So these will need to be set to 12.5, I believe. Okay. And for these ones, we'll build them out this way, I guess. Probably the easiest way to do it. Easy being a relative term. Put one here. Build out the foundation a little bit more. Don't want to go grab these. I'll just build them really quick. All right, I'm gonna pivot a little bit here. We have all of our parts to complete phase 2, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken care of. Delete these so they don't keep trying to feed in.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 2 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 2 will be completed and the construction dock will be constructed. After completion of Phase 2, the technologies of Tiers 5 and 6 will become available in the hub. These might feel intimidating after your previous experience, but rest assured that you would not be here if you were entirely incompetent. Highlights are oil production, railway transportation, the jetpack, and many more. Completing Phase 3 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. Just remember to focus on producing and delivering the project parts, and Fixit's faith in you will be strengthened.
All right.
Phase 2 of Project Assembly completed. You have been performing more adequately under pressure and are closer than ever to saving the day. Perhaps you were the right choice for the job. Time will tell. You will now enter Phase 3 of Project Assembly. Continue as you are, and there should be no issue. For humanity. For Fixit.
All right, so we now have access to jetpack, oil processing, tier 4 belts, fluid packaging, petroleum power, industrial manufacturing, monorails, rail signaling, which is odd that it's not included in the monorail. Mark II pipelines and the Mark II blueprint. Already you can see that we need motors to get a lot of this stuff. Not surprising, obviously. We should have already been on top of that before Phase 2 was complete, but here we are. I actually can reestablish the connection for the versatile framework. I did kind of forget that that is what goes in next. We'll throw that back on, dump the couple that I already have, and we'll just let it go. I'm not gonna like fill it up anymore. We'll just let it fill up what's available, and if it stops up eventually, which it will obviously, that's fine. Anyway, so we still have this kind of issue that we're not making motors, and I'm not really liking the way that we're building the factory that we're currently building. It feels a little funky, I guess. So I think I'm actually gonna stop building that one, and I'm going to restart somewhere else and do what I said before and make a whole separate factory making rotors and stators. Yeah, I'm just not I wasn't a big fan of how this one was coming together, to be honest with you. Felt just super awkward to like make work. Maybe we'll come back and try again with the excess iron with something else, but I don't think a motor factory is the way to go. So that being said, we're gonna need to find iron, we're gonna need to find coal. Currently we are utilizing a good majority of the stuff we have access to, but we do have some down here. Let's see if there's an iron node somewhere nearby. We do have this pure node that we could transport the coal over to, but as of right now, that is not really feasible. I'm gonna head over to the hub and look around and kind of see what I can plan going forward to kind of give this episode some direction finally. Okay, here's what I'd like to do. I would like to take the rotors that we're making and send them to another assembler to make the motors with the stators. As far as making more stators, that I do not have to worry about. However, making more rotors is where the issue lies, I think. Now, I do have another iron node over here, and we're not fully producing everything that we could be out of this miner. So, we can technically make more of everything. It's just a matter of how do you go about starting it when you've already kind of got everything set up the way that it is. I've been racking my brain about this for like 10 or 15 minutes, and I think I'm just kind of realizing that I'm a little too tired to have a good perspective on this and come up with a good plan. So I'm going to take a break. I'm trying to be better about doing that when I need it, when I'm playing. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna come back in the morning, my morning. It'll be a quick jump cut for you as always, and try to come up with a good plan on how I'm going to make this work. So give me 1 second. I will be right back for you. I'm gonna go get some rest, come back in the morning, and hopefully come up with a good idea. Okay, I got a little bit of rest. I feel a lot better about making some plans now, getting these motors set up. Once again, I'm noticing that these guys are not producing as much as they're supposed to. So I guess we're not making enough iron ingots. So I guess to resolve that, it's probably because of this, if I had to guess. So I'm just going to take one of these and set it to like 22. And we'll bump this guy up just a little bit. There we go. They should fill up a little quicker now. So it might get a little bit backed up, but that's okay. But that should resolve this not working as intended. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just because of the way I did the splitters down here. I was hoping that because it was only going to be putting in one at a time, it wouldn't be that big of an issue, but... or because I only put a Mark 1 belt on it, I should say. But clearly that is not the case. So, motors. Motors are what we need to take care of now. So I think the easiest thing I can do is head over to the place where we're making steel pipes. And essentially what I want to do is I'm going to double check how much coal we're producing. I'm guessing it's 180 per minute, but I'm not sure how much each of these nodes are doing. That's another 60. That's another 60, so 180, but I only have Mark 1 miners on this. So, logistically speaking, I should be able to put more into this and have the truck continue to deliver it. Alternatively, the truck can make another stop. We can put another stop on the truck's path. We would just need another iron node nearby. We have this pure node here. Let's take a look at what we have over here. Okay, so here's my new idea. I don't know if this is going to work extremely well, but we're going to use this pure node. Set up a miner on it. We'll go this way, I think. Ramp up a bit. So we're above these rocks. little bit of a big incline, but I'm okay with that. I think right about here looks okay. And we can always extend out that way if we need to. So this will specifically be for steel pipes. So we need a foundry. So with a Mark II on a pure node, I should be getting 240 in, I believe. Yep. So 240 divided by 45, 5.333 repeating, of course. So we'll need 5 foundries up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll need to cut all of them down a little bit on power, but we'll do that in just a second. Sorry, we'll need 6, 5.3. There we go. We'll bring the belts up here with us. I'll put a... I'm looking for a splitter down right here. Like so. Do the same the rest of the way down. Connect the belts. I put these the wrong way, I guess. I want a tier 1 belt going in. So hopefully these don't get too far behind on the ends. Set up lift. Perfect. Set all of these to make steel ingots. There we go. And then I'm actually gonna switch this on so that it starts filling up the foundries a little quickly while I set up the truck station. Just because if it gets backed up on iron ore, that's totally fine. And probably good, actually. I'll need one more power pole for this. Alright, we'll let those start filling up. Then I will need a truck station to deliver the coal. And the question just becomes, where do I want to put it? I'm thinking right up here. It should have a pretty easy path to make it over here if I just build some ramps to go up. So if I start maybe like right here. Switch to some ramps like this, and then a little bit of foundation. Should have a pretty solid truck station I can put up here, like so. I want it that way. That's right. And then I can put a lift here, head back over here, and line it up. Oh, very nice. Love when I do that. Line it up with this. And we can just put some splitters on here. connect everything via belt. Okay. And then all I'll need to do is change the truck's route so that it includes this truck station. I'm gonna add a couple more ramps just to make it a little easier to drive up. So the only thing is that I don't think I can make the truck go there, stop here, go there, stop here, go here, without changing where the route starts. So maybe what I can actually do is jump in here. Turn this guy around. Maybe if I start the route at the truck station, at either of them technically, but I'll start it at this one over here. This will also deliver some of the coal that is left over in the truck currently. Set that to unload. The truck is teleporting away as intended. Very, very cool. Very not weird at all. So going back over here, so we will have it start here. Let the system continue up unloading it. All right, so it will drive down. Come up here. Load the coal. Do a couple more ramps to make this turn a little bit easier. Okay. It'll come down this way. Could have made that turn a little better, but you know. It will drop off coal here, then come back around. Go back up the ramp. Turn around. And back up to the other truck station. I don't know how well this is going to work, but for right now, kind of the best I got. I will upgrade all of those miners over there to Mark IIs just to make sure I don't run out of materials, and hopefully it doesn't have any issues getting over there. Let's go and slap some Mark II miners on just to be sure that we are not running out of coal in the near future. From doing this, also probably just throw some tier 3 belts on here. Can't hurt. Dump all of this coal that it gave us for no reason. Yeah, it should be okay. I mean, 360 coal a minute is quite a bit. Looks like it's outgoing 1226 per minute, according to this. But we'll see. If I feel like it is not able to keep up, I will probably make some changes, but for now I think this is okay. Right, and then up here, there's kind of two schools of thought for this. We're pushing out 45 times 6, which is 270, although I'll have to turn these down in just a second. I think I just want the majority of these making steel pipes, I think. And I think the steel pipes, if I remember rightly, are 30 a minute. So every 2 of these can go to 3 constructors. So if I go merger, connect these guys like this. And then put those into a splitter. Then a constructor like so. Okay, that should work. Hopefully. Set up the rest of these. I might need to move these over just a smidge. Let me set up the constructors first. 2 and 3. Put the merger the wrong way that time. And then one more right here. There we go. Then we'll set all of these to make the steel pipes. I'm going to work on the numbers for this in just a second. But honestly, I might just leave it so that it's running all at 100% because everything's so backed up right now. I don't see it catching up anytime soon. And I'm actually kind of okay with it not operating perfectly efficiently just yet. Because this, I don't think this is going to stick around for too long. But I do need to get these motors going. So that'll get all of that up and running. I believe next, what I'll need is to make some wire. Which is why I pinged the copper just a second ago. We have some not too far away. It is a pure node, but I might actually be able to get what I need out of it. So let's set up a miner here. Facing this way. This time I'm just going to use a conveyor lift to bring everything up. We will build this right about here, I think. And with 240 ingots, I should need 7 smelters, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Not going to worry too much about load balancing these. I just want to get this up and running. Okay, tier 1 belts going in. Hopefully offsets, not load balancing for it. Tier 3 belts in between. Okay. And we'll use a conveyor lift to bring the ore over. These up. Maybe I can reach that power pole over there. Just jump off the edge of my foundation. That works too. And if I remember correctly, one constructor uses 15 ingots to make 30 wire. We'll check that. Yep. So, instead of setting up a bunch of constructors like that, I'm going to put all of the mergers on one belt. Everything is connected. Looks good. Then build out like so. This is going to require 14 constructors. I'm going to put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get a splitter. That. Okay. Then we will set up the same number. This go out a little bit further, I think, or move this down a little bit. Yay! I love accidentally deleting my foundations. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. This one is backwards. All of these guys. Get our power poles up. Okay, looks like everything is connected. Now everything just needs to be set to make wire. And that will give us 270 wire per minute. No? 400... 540 actually, I think. What the number will be. Now, we just need to connect everything. Maybe a little more room than I actually need, but better safe than sorry, I think. And we're essentially going to do the same thing. So, for one stator, it needs 40 wire, 15 steel pipes. We are producing 20 times 9, so 180. No, not 1800, is it? 20, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 100, yeah, 180. 180 steel pipes, which means we can make... That's not the button I wanted to press. 180 divided by 15 is 12. Set up 6 assemblers on each side. These ones are actually going to face somewhat opposite directions. I won't call it that. And the steel pipes are pretty easy. We'll just need merger. I'm gonna go grab some iron plates. Okay, back to the mergers. We're gonna put mergers on each of these. Hook everything up. Then, right here, we'll put a splitter. And right here, we'll put a splitter. Hopefully in the same place. Yeah, that looks good. We'll connect these, and then splitters down the line like this. And same thing over here. These are a little close together, but I'll find a workaround for that. Okay, that's all of our steel pipes going in. I'm going to hook these up to the power now so that they start going in. They will start taking all of the steel pipes in that they can. And the reason that I set these up in the sort of line that I did, there's going to be some overlap on the belt, but oh well. Sadly, I'm a little too beyond caring how it looks now. I need some more iron plates. Give me 1 second. Okay, now to connect the wire. What we'll do is same thing. Mergers on one end. We're gonna have to go get some more steel beams before this is over. Okay, and this one will feed to right here. So splitters on all of these guys. Belt. Not perfectly straight, but whatever. Too late to worry about that now. Perfect. Now all of these should be operational. Looks like we are potentially going to go over our power consumption, but don't think we actually will, because we have a lot of machines that actually aren't running currently. So we'll let that be what it is for right now. Okay, over to this side, same thing. Grab mergers. Fortunately, I set up just enough space to make this work. There we go. This one's going to be a little awkward. That's okay. Lift. Wait, there. Yeah, just out of steel beams. Let me go grab some more. 1 second. Okay, splitters on this guy. Get 3 belts. Run down this way. And there we go. That is much more stators than I think I will ever know what to do with. To be exact, it is 90 per minute, about a half a stack almost. And the plan with these is to now, for right now, we're going to put them in a storage container while I set up the next part of this. So let's get a merger here. Okay, and for this one, just for simplicity's sake, have it go in like so. And there we go. Yeah, so 90 stators a minute. Now I will just need to make some rotors. So I'm thinking about using this alternate recipe, the copper sheets plus the screws, to make 3 rotors. Which does mean that I'll need to find copper and iron somewhat close to each other. They don't have to be right on top of each other, obviously, but there's this node over here that I think is actually right next to an iron node. I'm also going to throw a power shard in the miner here and set this to be 270 just so I don't have to affect any of my... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this copper node here that's right next to the copper sheet factory, and I'm going to make a sort of pseudo secondary copper sheet factory. I picked this one just because it was close to all my other stuff. I figured it would be easier to move everything along from here. So let's get ramps to go up. Not gonna go too high on this. I can remove most of this foliage. So we're gonna be pushing 120, so I'll need 4 smelters for this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We should have put these a little further back, but well, I guess I'll have to do that anyway. Okay, we'll get a splitter. 1 here. 1 here. Feed them like so. And we'll put another splitter right here. Looks a little awkward, but put it here then. Go. Set all of these to make copper ingots. Hook all of those up to the power. Now we'll make the copper sheets. That is going to be 20 per. I am making 120, so I will need 6 constructors, and I'll just put them like this. Okay. Set those up. We'll put splitters in between. Then merger. facing the wrong way. This one too, I guess. Okay. Set these to make copper sheets. And for the piece de resistance, what's that? What was I doing? Right. So the way I'm going to make this work is with a handy dandy truck station. I decide between bringing the screws to the sheets or the sheets to the screws. Obviously, it made more sense to bring sheets to the screws because they're smaller stack sizes. Although, kind of thinking about it, I think it makes more sense the other way around now. Okay. I had a much easier way of doing this if I had been paying a little bit of attention, but too late to realize that now. So merger on each of these. And put a lift in for this one. There we go. I will need a truck for this guy. And I can hear what you're saying already. How are you going to give this fuel? That's a great question. I don't know yet. Probably by... Well, I have one solution and one solution only, and that is to manually fill it up with biofuel until I can figure out a better way to go about fixing that. So for the time being, it's going to run on biofuel. There's no coal deposits anywhere nearby that I'm not already using, and I don't want to take the truck super far out of the way to get it working, essentially. So let's build the assemblers for the rotors now. I'm just going to utilize the screws that I'm already making. I was thinking about making a separate factory for these screws, but I have so many screws getting made here that I'm not using, so I'd rather just start using those. So I need to make 90 rotors per minute. I believe that means 9 assemblers with this recipe. Give or take, it'll make a few extra, but that's not the end of the world. So we'll do 5 on this side, 5 on this side. It's 4 on that side. Would make more sense. feed the screws in via this line. These all to the copper rotor recipe, so the screws will start going in. And given that these are going to use 195 screws per minute, I don't actually think I'm making quite that many. So this is really just going to be a matter of utilizing what I have in reserve. But I do have almost 75,000 screws. So with this going through, what it'll be, 200 essentially times 9, so 1,800 screws a minute. I shouldn't run out for about 10 minutes, which is pretty good. Obviously I'm being a little sarcastic, but we can make this better in the future. For right now, let's get a truck station up here. Would like it to be somewhat in line. The center. Set up some ramps. Set this to unload. Actually want these right here. Set the conveyors up. Nice, that'll lock in on its own, which is wonderful. It doesn't use that many copper sheets, right? 22.5 per minute. Not bad at all. Okay, now we just need to deliver the copper sheets over. I'm probably gonna need another set of ramps coming up here. Just for my own sake. Set up something like that. It doesn't look pretty, but like I said, I don't expect this to last very long because I'm not super happy with this build, but I do need to start making these motors, and I'm not going to make them all by hand to start unlocking things. Okay, for the time being, I'm just going to use this storage container to feed in some biofuel, but inevitably but explain why. Alright, so we'll feed in biofuel with this. Then for the time being, we'll just let this run. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to get rid of this and make the rotors in a better way in the near future. But for right now, this will just have to work, I think. And then I'm going to leave this as it is. Obviously, the rotors are not getting delivered anywhere yet. So what I'm actually going to do is end the episode here. And when I come back in the next episode, I'm going to set up the motor factory. So thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciated. And I will catch you in the next one.